and making a choice to treat yourself a certain way so that you could stay healthy and working on getting happy, that's the part of your story. What happened before that is up to you to tell people or not to tell people. It doesn't change who you are. It doesn't make you a better person or a worse person or more of a person or less of a person. That's a fact. I had a surgery. Okay. Like, I don't want to say who cares, but who cares? You know, the majority of the people that watch these recovery meetings have had surgery. Okay, they had surgery. Lots of people, how many people have been in this room that have had surgery that won't come back to this room because no matter what, they're eating starches and they're drinking and they're doing all of this stuff, and they're doing it because they don't understand recovery. This is about your life as a happy, healthy woman. It's about you learning to get happier and understand more about yourself and to be able to use that word recovery. Your recovery doesn't have shit to do with you not eating a chocolate bar, and it doesn't have anything to do with you having a surgery. It has to do with the person that you're working on becoming. It has to do with the woman that you are when you wake up in the morning. That's about your recovery. Otherwise, you had a surgery.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Laura, I just wanted to say that I've been where you've been, and honestly, I went through a very similar thing in the beginning when we first started doing these broadcasts stuff. I didn't want to mention my surgery at all. I carried a lot of shame and a lot of guilt because I thought I couldn't do it by myself, and I'd taken the easy way out. And that was part of my feelings because I'd been dieting, had been so much part of my life, and the way I looked was so important to me rather than how I felt. And those feelings of guilt and shame over that have been my greatest learning opportunities of why I do that, why I felt that way. Not everyone tells people they went for surgery. That's your personal journey. You know, it's your business whether you want to share it or you don't want to share it. What I felt that I was being a fraud because people could obviously see something happen and then they were all going, how did you do it? And my response to them was the lie that I was telling them, and that was on me. You know, how I responded, that was my choice, and that was sitting on me. But working on that shame and that guilt of feeling that I had created this and I didn't have enough willpower and I never had the determination and I couldn't stick with it and I couldn't fix it until I started realizing surgery was my rehab. You know, it was my absolute lowest point. I didn't go into major surgery, which is major. I mean, you go under anesthesia, it is a long procedure, you're in hospital. It's a major surgery. They remove 75% of my stomach. That is a major thing. It affects me for the rest of my life. You know, between the reflux and all the other stuff that I deal with, it's a major decision. I didn't go into that decision lightly. Not only that, my insurance didn't pay for it. I paid out of pocket $17,000 for my surgery. So it wasn't something that I went and said, okay, nothing's going on today, let me book myself in and go have surgery. I went in with two things. One is I can't do this anymore. I have to do something different because it's affecting my health and it's affecting me. Two is I thought it was a quick fix. You know, I went into the surgery thinking I would be thin forever and it would solve the problem and me being thin would make me happy. And that was part of the lie that I told myself because no matter how much weight I lost, I still wasn't happy. I had the beautiful house and I had the great kids and I had the husband and I had all the physical stuff. I couldn't use a physical thing, the surgery or anything else to fix the spiritual problem. And that's my thinking. So what other people think or know or you tell them, that's up to you.
And let me ask you, because I think the important part behind here, Mama, is why is it, just out of curiosity, why is it that you feel ashamed that you've had surgery?
I don't know if I feel shame. Initially, it was just that, here's the thing. Initially, I didn't want people to know because I was worried about, I didn't want people talking about, I'm like, so maybe it is shame. I don't know.
It is.
It was just that I was really uncomfortable. I didn't want people, she's my friend. I love her so much, but like, so she goes out, right? She goes out and she drinks and she will tell everybody everything, you know, not meaning to, but she does. And I just didn't want all the judgment. And I didn't want so much people in my head at that time with thoughts about their own perspective of the surgery. It was hard enough
Why
for me
is
to
that?
deal with it on my own.
Why is that?
Because I think I was, at the time, I was really worried. I mean, I remember joining this group, like I was freaked out about having my surgery.
Yes, you were, but get to the feeling behind it, because there's some feeling behind it right now, sweetheart, where you have this friend and she comes over and she does her thing, she gets drunk and she talks a lot and she does this,
It is shame. And initially, I think it was fear.
which is
Right?
same thing. Yeah, okay. Shame is fear, but okay.
Okay, so you know what? So I just experienced it differently. Maybe it's the circumstances that I think are confusing me. Initially, I was afraid that all these people were going to have a lot of input and a lot to say, and it was already difficult. I know, but I wasn't there. Like I just
Correct. You were
not making an excuse, but I'm just saying, like,
no, it's where you were.
I could barely deal with me.
I know.
And then now it's like over time, right? It's becoming. I'm afraid to say, hey, by the way, I never told you this, right?
Yeah.
I've been saying I'm just eating a low carb, you know, like I'm watching my sugar and whatever diet.
Which is the truth. That part's the
Yeah.
truth, correct?
It's the truth.
Okay.
So you know what? I'm attaching a lot of significance to the fact that I had weight loss surgery. I'm acting as if the weight loss surgery is what's driven all my weight loss, and it's not my.
It's
What I-
not. You could be like the other 80 bazillion people that have weight loss surgery that eat. Listen, if you had the chance when you were first done with your surgery, if you could have just drank and done Xanax every night,
Oh yeah.
in your head you thought you would have been perfectly happy, right?
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't have anything to do with the surgery. It has to do with the changes that you're making.
Okay.
So we judge other people for what they do, right? We judge other people, and we're worried about people judging us. Why do we care about people judging us? Who gives a shit if Angeli's got a problem with the fact that you had surgery? That's Angeli's
Yeah.
problem. That ain't your problem. And what's
Yeah.
that? So Dr. Seuss quote that I said last time: do what you want and say how you feel, because those who mind don't matter. And those
Yeah.
who matter don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I love you. You know that there's nothing that you could tell me right now that you've ever done that's going to change my opinion of you. I'm not kidding. And the people that know me know that that's the truth. That's honest to God truth. I hear things about people, a lot of times I think like, shit, they've really been through a lot, and maybe allows me to even have a little bit more respect for their journey and what they've been through. But as
Right.
far as you telling me something and me thinking like, ugh, like, you know, wow, like I didn't know, you know, we're like that, right? We judge, which is, I think that in the Jewish religion, isn't talking badly about somebody
Yeah, it's
considered
lashon
worse?
hara.
Yeah,
It's
it's like
worse
considered
than
worse than
killing-
killing somebody.
Yep.
Yeah, so we judge ourselves, right? And we're worried about other people judging us. Remember, somebody else judging you is your ego, right? It's what Ahmed's opinion of you is. What Ahmed's opinion of you is doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's his problem, or his thing, or his happiness, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's what you believe about yourself. If you had that belief about yourself, like, you know what? I had a challenge and I stepped into the solution. This was the beginning of my solution. I'm smart enough and fortunate enough that I got to do that. So I had the surgery. Now I work on my recovery, do exactly what I'm supposed to do, and I'm happy. Bam, done, over. You got a problem with it? F you, man.
And you bring up a really important point for a lot of people who are watching out there, because we have a very mixed community. We have the people who had the bariatric surgery. You know, those feelings of not feeling hungry or getting full last for a very short period of time. This is a tool.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, those cravings and those old behaviors and that old thinking, everything starts coming back. You know, so people who step into recovery before the surgery, or people who step into recovery after the surgery, or people who step into recovery and never have surgery, still deal with the same thinking, you know, no matter what it is. And for me, it's very interesting when I'm in the rooms of NA or AA, people are excited about their clean time. You know, I've been 10 days clean and people go, well done. People say I'm in recovery and I'm a food addict and I had surgery and I'm 20 days clean. People, we poo-poo it. We ourselves are the people that treat ourselves so badly because we don't look at food as being as dangerous or as an important addiction as all the other, or as deadly addiction as all the other addictions. And with that carries a lot of shame and guilt that all of a sudden talking about it holds us back talking about it. You know, I remember sitting in my mother's hospital room and the nurse came in And we started chatting, and I said, I'm a food addict and I had surgery, and my mother was horrified. Why do you tell people that you actually had surgery? I go, because I did, and it was relevant, and it came up, and it's okay. You know, it's part of my journey, and I'm comfortable enough sharing it because I honestly believe that I can be a vehicle for sharing. And if I can just, if my journey helps someone else in their journey of recovery, I'm very happy to share it. And the amazing thing is, the more I talk about it, so many more people come to me and say, I've considered it, I've had it, my aunt had it, my uncle had it, my husband had it, I'm a food addict, you know, but those are parts, we're all in our journey at different places. Some people are just coming in, some people have been in recovery for a while. Whatever starts getting comfortable in us, just that we can, you know, I also believe part of the recovery process is letting go of shit. You know, the more we let go of, the happier and more serene we actually become, and the more we start enjoying life. And the more we sit with the things of what other people are thinking, or what will they say, and why they're doing it, the more it burdens us and stops us just being free in essence, and being happy and being able to live life to the fullest. I had to let go of people. And I'm not saying I don't love people and I don't have great friends and I don't love my family. I had to let go of what I thought people thought of me, because 9 out of 10 times I was wrong anyway.
And what's really important, Laura, is just how you feel about you.
Right.
Right. And if you decide to share that with somebody, great. And if you decide not to share it with somebody, it doesn't make you a liar, man. You're somebody that wakes up every day and says, today I choose not to use, and you don't. Right? And that used to be pretty hard for you in the beginning. Right?
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was really hard. So, and then at times it still gets really hard, right? And we talk about the days where like what would we do right now for 100 milligrams of oxycodone? You know, like what does our brain think that, and so we still have thoughts like that. Okay, the fact that you had surgery, the fact that I lived in a treatment center, okay. Does that have to be somebody's business? No. If you choose to share the fact that you're in recovery with somebody, okay. If you choose to say, this is what I'm doing, I'm dieting because right now you're not ready for that judgment, because it's pain in the ass. It is, because it's something that you have to deal with, right? That you need to learn to deal with. So it's a pain in the ass. Okay. All right. So you take it as it comes. You know how you said in the beginning, yeah, there was a lot of shame attached to it. And I think with you too, now it's kind of like, well, I didn't say it to begin with. So
Right.
now if I say it now, kind of sounds like I lied the whole time.
Yeah.
Right. So you care that somebody else is going to look at you and say, wow, she's a liar. The person people that love you and care about you, ideally don't act or react that way. But we really don't know how other people are going to act or react, right? Because we don't live in that ideal world.
Right.
As long as you can let go of the shame, tell people whatever you want to tell them, man. You're getting up every morning and doing your best to do your best. That's what's important. That's the only thing that's important, is you doing your best to do your best. That's it. That's where your responsibility ends. 4 agreements. Don't take it personally, right? So why do we we have 2 minutes?
Yeah, we got time, sure.
Yeah, why do we take it personally? So again, and I always say the same thing, but if I come to the meeting and I say to Haiti, I can't believe that you're wearing that tremendous purple hat with the green elephant in it. I mean, it doesn't match the tablecloth, even though you thought that it did, and it looks stupid, and people are going to be talking about you because, I mean, how dare you wear that hat, and it doesn't even match your shirt, and I'm embarrassed to sit next to you. Everybody is going to say, Felice must be stoned. Because the fact is that when we look at Haiti, we know that she's not wearing a hat with a purple elephant hanging out, right? And so Haiti will think the same thing. Haiti will think, wow, Felice must be high because there's something going on, or maybe she's had a stroke, God forbid, or something. There's something wrong with her brain. It's not the truth. Haiti won't believe me, and you guys won't believe it because it's not part of your belief system. If you walk in the room and I say, you look good, you gained 5 pounds, huh? Looks nice on you, you're getting a little more Zoftic. Looks really, really nice. You gained a couple of pounds, huh? And you're horrified? It's because you believe it, because you're ashamed, because you're whatever those feelings are that you feel. Other people don't make us feel anyway, right? We do that to ourselves. If I allow somebody, if somebody says something, let's say the boyfriend says something, and I feel embarrassed or ashamed, because I've allowed myself to feel like that. Instead of saying, wow, he's a human being coming from where he's coming from. This is the way that he looks at the world. That's okay, right? I'm not going to take it personally unless I believe it. Mm-hmm. That's the part that you need to take a look at to spiritually start feeling better. if Angeli looks at you and says, hey, you know what, Laura, like I really think that's really kind of weak, and I wish I never knew that about you, because I used to think that you were great. Now that I found out you had surgery, you know, now I know you're just a cheater, and you believe it, it's because you believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of you saying, hey, Ange, why don't you stay in your own lane, babe? Talk to you later. And not letting it affect you. We're human beings, and we do let all of that stuff affect us because we're human beings, right? We have those emotions. The more that we learn to accept others because of where they are, right? Remember, we're going to forgive them for they know not what they do.
Yeah.
But we're not going to accept the responsibility of feeling shame because of what somebody else thinks. Who cares what they think? We do, obviously. But if we gave it a lot of thought, and if you're in therapy, that's one of the things that we talk about or that we learn, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what Angeli thinks of me. It matters what I believe about me.
Yeah.
Right? My treatment didn't make me a good person or a bad person. It made me a person who went into a treatment center. That's all it made me. Yeah.
You know, it's amazing. As we share and we talk, it takes me to different places and different times, and it makes me remember certain things. You know, part of, I always was so concerned about how I looked that there are no photos of me for many, many years within my kids' lives. I wouldn't go to events unless I'd lost the weight and I looked good, or people wouldn't see me unless I looked a certain way. And that's how I lived most of my life. And part of that was also fear. I feared people would leave me if they really saw the real me, that people wouldn't love me for the person that I am. And it stopped me having honest conversations with people, because when I sometimes felt that I wasn't going to say the things that I had always been saying, because I was very tactful and always said the right thing and always behaved the right way, you know, what I thought it was, that people would actually just walk away, because I'd lost so many people over the years. I'd lost friends and things for reasons I can't explain or I don't understand. So fear was also a large part of my journey at the beginning, that if people knew that I'd had the surgery, they wouldn't love me.
They wouldn't respect you.
They wouldn't respect me, and they wouldn't want to be with me.
Instead, if you walked around like it was your Superman cape, like I had surgery, look at how awesome I am. That's you changing your perspective, right? Saying, I'm smart enough and I had enough money that I got to go and have this surgery, right? Because that's one way to look at it. And the other way to look at it is, well, I didn't really have a choice, so I had the surgery, and if anybody finds out, they're going to think I'm weak or stupid, or now I can't tell them because I'm whatever. And again, the only part of any of that story is how you feel about it. But if you think about stepping into that awesomeness and saying, you know what, I had a problem. Yeah. I was the person that, quote unquote, went into the treatment center and got myself better. Right? I was the person that had right upper quadrant pain, so I went to the hospital and they took out my gallbladder. Okay? Right? Okay. That happened.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you who you are, baby.
Yeah.
Just an event that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's what you're talking about is really, really hard. Because you're talking about not being afraid of what others think about you. Mm-hmm. And you know, that fear is what makes you the same as everybody else, right? Because we all have that. No matter what a great, you know, game I talk, of course, I still have that. Do I have it like I used to? No. But is that still going to happen? Sometimes, yeah, of course. I'm a human being. Yeah. But with you, just start thinking about how it is that you look at yourself because of it. And then maybe if you could talk about it a little bit, and get over that shame because you feel ashamed of it.
Yeah.
Instead of feeling like, damn, like I'm so friggin' awesome. Look what I did. Mm-hmm. Right? Because really, that's the way it is. Like, I'm so friggin' awesome. Like, look what I did, and look where I am. You know? That's all. You got some help, and now look where you are. So that's awesome. Yeah. That's perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it also takes me back to when I first came into the rooms where I was hopeless and helpless, and nothing was really worth living for. I felt so much shame and guilt. And being in recovery, one of the things that I've really got is so many blessings and so much gratitude for where I am now, that I'm able to live a life rather than just existing from day to day and counting the minutes and counting the hours until I go to bed or until the weekend comes. And just, I wanted to touch on, because gratitude is a huge part of my journey and our journeys. I just also wanted to say thank you, because not only to you guys for being here as part of my recovery, but also to the West Broward Club for giving us the space, to Angeli, who comes in and helps set up and does what she does, for Ahmed, who is here tirelessly, for Edward, who gave us the topic for today.
And I was going to ask,
thank
you, and thank you too. Thank you. And I was going to ask Ed if he wanted to share, but he's busy, so I'm going to ask Angela instead. You have anything that you want to talk about? Anything about your haircut or
No.
school or anything?
No, same stuff.
Okay, so maybe you'll talk about it next week, because it means something to me. I'm sure it means something to somebody else. So
Well, you've heard
she's
it
having a
enough.
bad hair day, so and that happens too, right?
So-
and that's ego, right?
So I saw
That's what
Well,
your
not
opinion
really,
of me
'cause
is
I don't
going
care
to
what
be.
anyone else thinks about it. I just don't like it.
Okay. To that, I'm going to say okay.
So I saw a great picture with this little cartoon thing with the hair all over, and it says our hair was put onto our head to remind us that we are powerless. Okay.
I think I saw that on Facebook somewhere, right?
So Ahmed, how's your day going? What's happening with you?
Not much.
So we seem to be good. So
Okay.
so okay. If anyone's got anything they want to add to what we've been talking about, now's a good time.
Super Bowl.
Super
Everyone's
Bowl. We can
excited
talk
about
about
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, yeah.
So we're going to meet up again next Sunday. You okay if we end a little early? It
Yeah,
is
of course.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
Got things to cook and make.
Right, people have to go drink and eat, so we gotta go.
So we'll be back Sundays at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. We look forward to seeing everybody. Post questions on Facebook if you have any. Join our online community at SoWellWait.net. There are great resources up there, by the way. There are meditations, there's a whole bunch of stuff, great videos to watch, there are amazing books to read. So there's lots and lots and lots of stuff there. Reach out if you just are feeling yuck, we get into that funk and sitting by ourselves. I went to a meeting in my pajamas the other day because I couldn't get out of bed and get dressed, but I went to a meeting because I was in really bad company staying where I was, and it was better for me just getting out and being in a healthy, great spiritual environment. So do whatever it takes that helps in your recovery.
Isn't it so funny? I go to Starbucks in my pajamas.
take my
Like
kids
everybody's
to
cool
school.
with that, but it's like I went to a meeting in my pajamas. Oh, that's something to judge you about. But Starbucks in your pajamas, that's something everybody does, so that's okay. It's like, don't go and get well in your pajamas, but you can get coffee.
But the funny thing is, I would never ever have done that in the past. I would have done the hair, the makeup, and got dressed up, and always done that. And I used to crap on my oldest son for doing that. How can you go to school in your pajamas? Okay, so I'm putting them on, and I've got them on. I'm going, oh shit, I owe him an apology.
That's okay. You'll pay a couple of grand in for a shrink. So it's okay. I want to thank everybody who's here today. I missed you guys. Angela, Ahmed, really thank you again. Thank you, Haiti. I'm so blessed and grateful to be in recovery. My name is Dr. Felice Cellini. Thank you for being with us this morning on our Wait for Recovery Sunday morning community meeting.
And my name's Haiti. I'm so blessed and grateful to be in recovery. If no one's told you today that they love you, I love you. Have a beautiful week, and peace out, everybody.
Peace out, you guys.